Vince is good doing that.
Yeah. The 19th, they're all behind horse guards. What's going on there?
We're only letting so many in.
Well, only let a few people in there. Oh yeah, because they'll be able to see him.
are no more spaces. Okay.
No, it would have been a fight anyways. Like we just, like, James has been here since 3 a.m.
Didn't he go in?
No, he was the first guy. Okay. And it was Deepa and Emmy because
Okay. Okay.
They used to go to the toilet, but I mean, like, the important person, I don't know why they're supposed to be.
Everyone here for the Assange case, please move back so I can let everybody else in. If you're here for the Assange case, please step back so I can let everybody else in. I've got another rest of the building to deal with. Please, not
How's it going? Outside Westminster Magistrates Court for the bail application of Julian Assange. His extradition was blocked on Monday at the Old Bailey, and possibly he could walk out of court this morning. The extradition decision will be appealed by the US prosecution. They have 2 weeks to appeal, so once the appeal process is exhausted, if he's not extradited, then Scott Morrison, the Australian Prime Minister, has said he's free to return home.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm alright, how are you? No, that's fine.
You're great.
I know. Fast, no, it's fine.
Thanks so much, that's great.
Wheelies, I'll be streaming outside Westminster after the decision today.
All right.
Hey man, how are you? Yeah, good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, all good.
Guys, I'm now shooting at 60 frames compared to the other day. Have a walk around, see what you think. See if it's much smoother than before.
Well, it was getting ridiculous right there. Not that far, not that slow in the cruising mode, and then he could go sorry about earlier, but they must switch hands soon, so...
So I was just sorting the tripod out.
And we've got BBC are doing the arrival, but not live. Nothing to do. Sorry?
Is it Chester?
I'm just working here. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, sorry.
chic. A nice car, is that? Lovely. It's such a tricky angle. It's like low angle, but you get like the American background. If your art's different. For our more artistic customers.
I've also got
This will be my submission for
If not, please make sure you guys spread out for
the most beautiful cameras I've ever seen. No sound, just vibes.
protect yourselves more than
No, your audio is all good though. Crisp and clear. This is really touch and quality as well.
the problem is
Oh yeah. But once they're talking, the confidence in has moved a lot.
typing into something else.
He's annoying. Oh, I've got work. I know they're all livid. The audacity.
They were. Go towards her, sorry.
I'll be absolutely I've been in 6 a.m.
You know, technically, you don't need to wear one outside.
Exactly, and that's
Of course.
no, yeah, and I know how annoying it is if someone actually in front of you and they block your shot. Like, I'm not gonna do it. What's that happening anyway? I feel like too many journalists are so gonna take a shot if you don't. Oh, absolutely. This is gonna be thighs of steel. Thighs of steel. Just literally here. No, I haven't, but today I guess I'll start. Stretch, probably.
yeah, we're just in the office stretching out the way. We'll be back in. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to go away though. I want to get back to it.
We can go together and very creative.
Yeah, I like that. But then it's nice to have to go back here to pick back. True, but then I'm off for 2 weeks. Yeah, just my friend. It's so annoying. It's actually quite fun, but it's quite fun. Yeah. Literally, I was going to go home on Sunday because I've been there a while. We like done New Year's thing, there's a few of us. And then I came to come back, but then Mum was like, yeah, don't come back, I'm very ill. It's like, what? It's like, stay away.
I'm going to take that home back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what, home? Yeah. Handy to have.
The amount of time, oh my god, so I was like,
you know how the NHS is? Oh, really?
so I went to the second class and
I agree that you could stop.
Rob? And they were like, it's like a new concept, like.
You're absolutely right. These things.
And he was like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
you
do.
and I was like, but school needs shared stuff.
Yeah.
And they sometimes get difficult about sharing stuff.
Yeah.
If you come in and speak to them about the opposite, it's all good.
Yeah.
And then this girl was like, I was like, can you just like, want to like, send me just like, looking at it on our if I don't get people out my cup and my cars, I don't think
Like, take it.
so then suddenly it was alright, and then they were like, I was like, she was like, are you like stupid? And I was like, I am, but I'm not allowed to. And she was like, I'm happy to do it.
Easy, mates.
What is happening? I've got my phone.
Very helpful. I tried this point. Guys, give them some space. Come on, give them some space, guys. Please, give them some space. Let them walk, free. Free, man, free. Give them some space, people. Come on, give them some space! Out of the way, please! Out of the way, please! fine.
Can you please bear with? Please wait. First come, first serve. Please wait. I'm dealing with someone else at the moment. Right. Have you got any symptoms?
Sorry.
Have you been in contact with anyone that's been overseas? No? Okay. Next please. Right. Right. Just bear with me one moment. You're here as family members. I need the lead counsel to come down and confirm the family members. If in the meantime I can ask you guys to wait on the side.
Yeah, I've been in the queue.
I'm waiting for a list of names. Sorry?
Yeah, try and practice a bit of social distancing as best as we can. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying.
Everyone that's coming in for the family members are the only ones waiting, and I'm getting the lead counsel to come down and confirm the names.
Queuing. Going to get people from the side to step aside, and they'll be called in later. But make sure that people who are for other cases are in the queue, so they can be allowed in.
At the moment,
See the meters there.
sir, I need to do what we need to do. Can everyone else please wait outside? Thank you. Anyone not here for the Assange case, come to the front. Please leave a gap here for everyone to walk through.
They're not hard.
Can we get back a bit?
Yeah, thank
You can let the people get through.
The lawyer for Assange standing outside. Why is that, sir?
I don't have a clue,
The
man.
lawyer's here.
I can't answer that question.
Outrageous, mate. It shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be like this.
Can we get a bit of space? Boss, can we get a bit of space, please?
David.
Hi. Is anybody here not for the case? Can you queue on this side? Yeah, just queue on this side because you can. On the left hand side, yeah.
Next.
Sorry. I'm trying to do it the best I can.
Yeah, there's two lines.
Have you got any symptoms? Been in contact with anyone in the last 14 days?
Are you here for...
Red lines over.
Yeah, you're off you first, you're not here for the Assange.
Very complicated. They think it's very expensive to see family members who go, they haven't got the names.
Yeah, that's what we need to think about.
That's what we need to get the names of the six Joe. Could be good. It was shocking last night. I didn't. I don't think after the but not one after that. It's going to be a bit.
Still be in the queue, just a little bit more space.
Next please. Are you next, sir?
Being positive,
Have you got
able to walk.
next please, who's not here for the Assange case? Counsel? What case?
Incredible news from Georgia.
concern is that the last boats that dribble in tend to be from very, very rural places.
The guy
guy who's probably moved to Saudi Arabia on the lost in the race. Democrat from Westminster. No. He was way ahead in the polls, like 12-13% in September. And it surfaced that he had much. He was in the reserve. So not only did he have an affair, he had an affair with his wife, soldier. Not only that, the soldier that had been deployed and was basically paralyzed because of injury. I mean, you see the graph on the crash of the stock market. So yeah, he might be responsible for messing up the incentive for his members. He's definitely got a Hollywood film coming right here. That's yeah. And the ads that they started rolling out, the Republicans were vicious. It was the most print. All of the stuff we ran up with the mad chap that dances out of the streets.
Oh, sorry.
Hi guys, press. I asked if you are wearing a face mask. Everyone needs socially distanced. You not have a mask? Do you have a mask? Do you not have a mask? Are you here for another case? Journalists doesn't have a fight ahead of us. We're talking about the life sibling affairs in the US, which is a threat to all journalists.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry guys, just taking some still images.
I can go in it.
Guys, can we move back a bit please and start social distancing? Yeah, you can hear me. Please start moving back.
Can we move back, please?
Maybe you don't let them in because the president moved between the minister and the and look at trading this.
Not like law yet,
Can you just keep a bit of space, please? Thank you. So, right, yeah, there's a bit of a queue.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Sorry guys, can you move further back for me, please? You just get you guys a bit more further back, and then we can investigate. You are. Just ask you to do it further. I've got a deal here.
If you go to the right, jump in from that view, and then there's someone there with a clipboard and they will have to go through it.
Really? I thought it was a car.
No, you just jump in the queue. Just jump in and let them know. Then you have to go round that side.
Okay.
No, they work.
Appreciate that. Massage?
Sure, I think they're all going into the protesters again.
They will be flightless if you're going to do a run.
Okay, so it's more on the fact that the
Oh, they're supportive.
No one else is allowed entry. Okay, so unless you're pressed, you cannot be here. Okay, so my officers will be coming around and checking if people are pressed or not. If they're not, then obviously coronavirus regulations dictate that no one should be outside the shops.
Okay, so I'm going to go over here.
Stand with them for a moment and then... Okay.
I believe the guy with the red hair is a colleague who worked on
Join the club,
Keep moving back, guys, please.
I just need to get into the press room. I don't need to get into court. There's a press room where you can sit down and type. That's why I need to get in.
Just go further back, please. Yeah, I'm mindful, Jeremy. I've asked the question to you two guys. Find out if press.
Because we don't want to keep here any longer than we have to.
Yeah, let me just get everyone back and then I'll go and ask the question again. Guys, can you get further back, please? Come on, guys, keep moving back, please.
Well, one lad from another news agency said he was from another case, so he went straight in. And I'm wondering if that was a good play on his part. Yeah, well, he came so late, he was right at the back. Then they said 2 lanes for different cases. But he might have been through different places, but I don't know. You got anyone watching on the link? Yeah,
What we go at the moment, no question. How will we find out? The press. At this. I think I asked the press.
it's a front. You can go in there, there's tables and files.
You've got your own little room. You can go sit here.
I did call them yesterday, they said we've been out of hours. Sorry? I did call them yesterday, I'm going to press them out.
Busy.
Yeah.
One by one. Come forward.
I mean, it's the pressure room. Make sure you put your ID in.
One by one. This is what we've been told. Come through. Mohammed, this is how it's done. 30 seconds. Join the queue. You can go in. Which is your part?
This is a joke, man. Come with people there are in that. Good morning. Good morning.
Because even if it's here, you're going to get worried in the last minute. Oh, you're going to end up with a global match here, and everyone will end up. Yeah, well, you're getting out the side or somewhere.
I might get that bag.
Yeah, it's got to be a decent one. Move around. So the van is here, move here. I might move my van. Did anybody get those up? You get the attention.
Try and get my camera in position right in the front. Why did I put my camera there? Did I put my camera like there? Or is it in your way? It's alright, yeah? Oh, okay. What about there?
Loads of
nada, se no siente nada con your face.
I'm next to you.
I mean, it would be horrific if they did.
Hello, oh my god, I'm surprised you're here.
Maybe not then.
I have one that connects, it's a good mic that connects with Jack.
This is a special station for talk.
Huh?
It's a dwarf eye view of the world. Special channel for dwarfs.
Well, I just had it on fully extended. I thought maybe I'd be able to get in there, but
maybe. Lots of the rooms being taken up by photographers.
we'll have to try it out.
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm, as they say.
You've got another month or so to go.
That's just a little light. There's really a gap. Give me a
Huh? They've asked our judge, so like I said, this the producer is like until we agree that like the producer is good. In a situation like this, I'm happy to share with
Yeah, no, I mean,
I've given him a radio mic. Don't have yours on it.
Yeah. No, this will be his camp. And it's something serious.
Like
We can wait. I'll stay here and treat it, but no, you don't go home. Yeah, no, I saw she's got through all the girls, because like, everyone else is like, no, I'll fucking take some holiday, even though she makes a fucking holiday ever. Yeah. You know, and she was like,
yeah, I'm covering Parliament Square today. After we find out the verdict on the bail application.
All the symptoms are over that. All the symptoms are over there. We're about to... Well, I've had 3 tests so far. One was going to Iceland, one coming back to the Republic of Iceland, even though you've got all the layers on, that's not the general results of work. The ICUs are just they've got ventilators on, it's all quiet. So you go in the general ward and I was like, weird, isn't it? So I had just check. But you know, it was like this half the time. I was in the cab. Really? You're in China? Work before? Oh, I was of the understanding that you might be in the you're feeding the presser live. Can you check it? Find out. You see, I had something as well. But there in Westminster Magistrates Court on CBC. When we did the check-in, they said you probably never had it. Yeah. So they obviously did a different... I know.
That window's been smashed for quite some time now. It's been my 3rd or 4th case down here, and it's been smashed ever since.
Yeah, 07764. Although, I mean, they've got various...
Right, Paul, how you doing, mate?
This is familiar.
It was a wonderful cup of coffee. Really nice. Hooray. What excitement have I missed? Oh, you missed the excitement. Man just fell off his bike there. It's alright. It wasn't, but it might as well be. His bag went into the wheel, so he went... I think the embarrassment hurt him more than the actual fall. No, he was proper cyclist, but he had a cannula thing at the back, and then he had something else, so I don't know. I didn't quite see the... It was very embarrassing.
Did you see the penny card?
No, I missed that.
Something like that, so where you should expect it to be.
Sorry, just... almost 5 hours. What people like you want? Very cool, please. Thank you so much. We're in the Westminster Magistrates Court.
No, we're not actually not. I would strongly suggest that you don't have that there, don't you?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely not.
Issues throughout, but we'll see what happens. We've been monitoring since February, and it's constantly shifting goalposts as to how we can get in, whether we'll be allowed in. But we are here regardless, and if I can't get into the courtroom, we will provide moral support because we have long called for Julian Assange's immediate release. We believe he should be released unconditionally, but today is a chance for the judge to do it. It won't right the wrong of the past 10 years, but it will be a step forward and put an end to this hell that he's endured now for a decade, simply for publishing information in the public interest.
And why did reports about borders get involved? And how did that happen?
Because of the serious implications of this case for journalism and for press freedom. We fully believe that Mr. Assange was targeted for his contributions to journalism. The publication of the leaked documents informed extensive public interest reporting that exposed war crimes and other illegal behaviors by the US government, and the public had a right to these stories. Also, if successful, if he was extradited, if he was prosecuted in the US, the implications for journalism and press freedom would be long-lasting and severe, and not just in the US, but internationally. So this case always was about journalism, always was about press freedom. There were things over the years that distracted many people from that, but at the core it's always been about these issues. We are concerned that the decision, although positive in the fact that he won't be extradited, it actually leaves the door open for further persecutions. The substance of the ruling was quite concerning for journalism and press freedom. Any publisher, journalist or source could find themselves in a very similar situation. We would have liked to see a stronger ruling from the court in favor of press freedom, in favor of journalistic protections, and so that stopped short. So we still have a lot of work to do in terms of addressing the issues underpinning the case before this is allowed to happen to anybody else.
And if he is released today, if he's released anytime soon, what would you say to him? What would you say to Mr. Assange?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think I'd maybe be a bit emotional because this has been such a long and involved process for everybody involved. I think I'd be inclined to just give him some space and some privacy with his family for some time, and then reach out and see how we could support him further. Because you know, there are issues now that could be addressed as to how he's been treated over the years. There are things that can still be done. This case is far from over. And again, the underpinning issues here really have to be addressed. The Espionage Act in the US lacks the public interest defense, so anybody that would find themselves targeted in the way Julian Assange has been targeted could go to jail. There's no way that a journalist, a publisher, or a source can defend themselves. In the UK, the Official Secrets Act also lacks a public interest defense. So there are legal protections that are needed to ensure that this can't happen again. So that's it. But I think I would just immediately be happy for him and hope that he could go home and see his partner and his children and start to recover.
And has this been quite emotional for you, your involvement in this? Has it been personally quite emotional for you?
So it's a professional case, and I've been working in human rights for 15 years, and obviously my interest in this case is professional, but when you become so embattled to even be able to do your job, yes, it becomes a bit emotional. We have been through hell trying to just access this case. So in February at Village Crown Court, in September at the Old Bailey, even here today, I don't know if I'll get in, and this is the first day that I haven't been out here queuing for hours myself because the family put me on their list. But it's really made us dig our heels in and fight for this because it is clear that this court didn't want us here, didn't want these proceedings to be closely scrutinized, had no respect for the role of NGO observers. So yeah, that made it a bit more personal because I had to fight for our right to do our jobs. But it was completely worthwhile. It was really important that we document what has happened here, even the access issues. These are barriers to open justice. And you know, that also has longer lasting implications. This shouldn't be the case in the UK. Any proceedings should be open to scrutiny by the public, by professional NGO observers, and by the media. So So yeah, not personal in the way that I don't know Mr. Assange. I've gotten to know his family a bit and others very close in the case, and I wish them the best. They have been through a hell that I cannot imagine. But yeah, we will stick with this no matter what.
And may I ask, what can you say about the conditions that Julian's being kept in?
So at the moment in Belmarsh Prison, so I'm just keeping an eye to see if they'll let me in. At the moment in Belmarsh Prison, the situation is alarming. So he has been nearly continuously confined to his cell for several weeks now as COVID infections have been sharply on the rise in his block of the prison. So remember that he has respiratory issues as well, so he's actually quite highly at medical risk. Also, the mental health issues that we heard detailed extensively on Monday, those have been exacerbated by this period of detention, and every day that he remains behind bars, that will be more and more the case. So there are health risks, there are mental health risks, and then as a matter of principle, he should not spend another day behind bars. He should not be deprived of his liberty unjustly for a single moment longer.
And can I ask a slightly more general question? What do you think about the UK government and Metropolitan Police targeting journalists who don't have a government permit?
So on Monday I had quite some experiences with the police myself, but I want to clarify, I am not a journalist, I am an NGO observer, and we have a role to play. We do this in lots of countries around the world. This court has not respected that role, which is why I have to fight my way into the public gallery, and it turns out that the police also do not respect that role. So on Monday morning we were there around like 4:30 in the morning to queue for the public gallery. I had to justify our presence to police about a dozen times. I had to show them RSF press releases, an email exchange with the judge, and continuously negotiate for them to not just force us out. We were told several times by police that the public gallery would be closed, which was not true. They told us to go home. They told us that we faced possible arrest if we didn't go home. So we stood our ground, but had I listened to police, I wouldn't have been able to do my job on Monday and bear witness to this historic extradition decision. And then after court, at one point, they allowed people to do media interviews for some time, but I was about to go live with Al Jazeera, and they became very aggressive with me in that moment. Somebody posted a video of that, one of the activists captured it, just trying to move me along. I was literally like a few seconds from going live, and being really aggressively pursued by police until I stepped out of the area that they decided they needed to clear. And they were saying to journalists all around us, "It's okay, you're working." I was also working, and that was not a lockdown yet, that was tier 4, and we were allowed to be out for work purposes, as I am here today. This morning the police are being quite calm, I have to say, which is a nice turn from Monday, but you know, all of us, I do understand that there are public health risks, of course, and I respect lockdown, and I have been working from home quite a lot myself, but this is so important. This case is overwhelmingly in the public interest internationally, and we have a job to do. So I was ready to be arrested. They didn't arrest me, but it was not pleasant, and I am considering, I've actually consulted a solicitor about filing a complaint with how we were treated on Monday by police.
May I ask a question? Did they actually push?
No, they did not, but it was quite aggressive because there were lots of them. It was clearly intended to be intimidatory, not just to me, to many activists, and I think they did move some of the activists along. I was first in the queue for the public gallery, so I was not moving. I was not going anywhere. I just stood there, and they did not move forward more aggressively, but they were giving us incorrect information. It is not a police matter who gets access to judicial proceedings. That was ridiculous, and that was false. Because I had indication, had I not had that correspondence with the judge about the public gallery, I don't believe that they would have, been as hands-off. But that, I stated afterwards, that was the first time in my 15-year human rights career that I've ever been threatened with arrest for trying to get into a court to do my job. In any country, and we go to lots of countries that are far more authoritarian than the UK. So yeah, that was quite shocking, to be honest. So I'm waiting to find out. So this is the first time I have not come and queued for hours myself to try to access the public gallery, but it was because Julian Assange's family was kind enough to put me on their list. And at the moment, the court officials were stating that they were going to check with the legal team that I was indeed on that list. But I'm not feeling confident right now, to be honest with you. But I spent 5 hours in the winter cold on Monday morning and dealt with the police, and I couldn't do it again this morning. So I'm hoping that they will honor the family's wishes here today and let me in. And if not, we're still here in spirit, and we've followed every step of this so far. So I'm hoping today will be a good outcome.
What do you think it's going to go? How do you think it's going to go today?
It's really hard to say. I have mixed feelings. So on Monday, I really expected the worst and was pleasantly surprised, because as it was unfolding, it seemed that the decision would be for extradition, and it only took a turn for the better at the very end. So my gut instinct on Monday was far more negative than right now. Right now, I think honestly 50-50 if I had to guess. It would be extremely harsh for the judge to keep him detained with the serious mental health issues that she outlined on Monday. So we now know this court recognizes these issues, right? Those issues will be exacerbated by any prolonged detention. So it would be hard for her, I think, to justify keeping him detained. But, you know, she's been very harsh at other steps of this. So she has denied bail twice before, and sometimes even small decisions that could have made a big difference to Julian Assange, she has ruled against him. So for example, in February, when his legal team appealed for him to be able to be moved from the glass dock at the back of the courtroom and sit with his lawyers in the well of the court, she found against that. There was no really good reason for that. He's not a violent criminal, he's not a terrorist. Those are the sorts of people who are normally held in glass cages doing trials. So I don't know. She has been very harsh, but she surprised me on Monday. I think we're always prepared for the worst and always hoping for the best. And if he's not released today, it will be even more clear that a political solution is needed to this, because this was a political case all along. So at any point, the US government could choose to drop this case. It's clear that the UK government is not willing to take a political stand in favor of press freedom and journalism. So it's on the US. But remember, in a couple of weeks, we will have a new presidential administration there, and we don't know yet how Biden will approach this case. There are many arguments to be made for him to break from Trump's legacy and drop this. So that's what we will hope. So I think we will turn to US government-focused advocacy if this court doesn't rule in favor of release today.
What do you think? Sorry, what do you think that the abuses that Julian has faced and the trouble that you faced and heard about here say about general freedom in the UK?
It's been a real shocking experience for me, to be honest. I have monitored other trials in this country, but never anything with such tremendous interest where it was so difficult to get in. So the other things that I have monitored recently, you could just kind of walk in and sit down. I have been through this in other countries, including this year. So some of this is due to COVID restrictions, and that's worth bearing in mind. And I understand the need to restrict numbers, but that's why the court should actually accredit NGO observers as they would journalists, so that we can just do our job as professionals. They haven't done that, so that actually creates a more unsafe situation with crowding and queuing for hours and all of these things. The court could have prevented that. There is a cloud video platform. They have revoked access for NGOs and political observers to that platform, so the only way that we can follow what's going on is to do this, is to get in. So I don't know. I think there are lessons to be learned here. I will certainly be taking our experience to summon government here and possibly filing a complaint about the police treatment, in particular on Monday, because that crossed the line, I felt. But I would expect, the UK is a modern democracy. The UK is supposed to adhere to principles of open justice and respect the right to a fair trial, and the ability for proceedings to be scrutinized by media, by NGO observers, by the public is really crucial to ensure those rights, those freedoms. So.
One last time, could you just repeat your organisation where people can find more information?
Sure. So I work for Reporters Without Borders, which is known internationally as Reporters Sans Frontières. Check out our website, rsf.org. We've got a lot of information about this case, including our observations from February, from September, our comment the other day. We'll have comment out on what happens today, even if I don't get in. But yes, I've been tweeting too, so find me on Twitter, and we'll stick with it. We'll stick with the appeals process. And we will continue to advocate for Mr. Assange's rights and freedom, and for the underpinning issues here, because this again was always about press freedom, it was always about journalism. And so the targeting of Mr. Assange in this way, this ordeal he has faced for 10 years, has serious implications already. Even if he's let go today, the implications will be still long-lasting. This has already had a chilling effect on reporting for years, especially national security reporting. So we need to now find ways to begin to repair that damage and to ensure better protections for journalists in the US, the UK, and international.
What's your opinions on how the press has actually treated Julian in the past?
Okay, so
That's an expansive question.
So again, it's been a very long 10 years, right? And there's been various phases of popular support for him and then not. One thing that I will say is the deeper that I became involved in this case, the many levels of misperceptions became apparent. And I found that many skeptics, many people who felt that they were against Julian Assange, even if they claimed to support press freedom, freedom of expression, some things about the case that they believed to be true simply weren't or had been misrepresented. The deeper I got involved in this, it did seem to me to be deliberate, and I don't necessarily want to blame the media, but there seems to be a deliberate attempt to portray him in a certain light, because if he was seen as unlikable, there was less public sympathy for him, and therefore less public pressure on the states involved, so that allowed the US and UK governments to get away with what is a political prosecution. I do think as well that the publics in the UK and US in particular had difficulty accepting that their states were capable of this, because we're all inclined, the way that we're raised, the way that we are brought up is to see our institutions in good faith, to believe that our democracy works, that our checks and balances will not fail us. But those of us who have worked in more authoritarian parts of the world saw this case for what it was. This always felt political. This very much feels like cases I've worked on in countries much further down our World Press Freedom Index. So it was unhelpful that it became so much about Julian Assange's personality and about all of these other things, but it was always worth bearing in mind what these specific proceedings were about. And even if somebody has decided that they didn't like him for whatever reason, why does that matter? Why do we only defend cases of people that we decide fit our particular, vision of what we like or don't like, especially when we don't know the person involved? Most of the people who have these opinions have never met him, have never had that experience. So a lot of these opinions were really deep formed. It might have been a snap judgment based on headlines 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and so that was really unhelpful. So as a campaigner, that was one of the hardest challenges, was countering those deep-seated beliefs that people had. Normally my challenge in cases that we take up is getting the case known, getting it out there, making sure people are aware, but this case was different because nearly everybody knew this case or thought they knew and understood this case, and it was then a question of having to change minds. But I was encouraged by the reactions on Monday, which I think show that people now do understand that this case is about journalism and press freedom. I would have preferred to not feel so alone and attacked at times for defending this case, but now I think times are changing, and I hope now that we can see greater solidarity going forward, so that the next time this happens, because this will happen again, we will see more examples of powerful states working, throwing vast resources at attempts to silence public interest reporting, particularly at whistleblowers and others who are reporting on classified information and things that states want to keep hidden. So this will happen again, and I hope that this will be a lesson learned for the international community, for the media, for the free expression community, for the human rights community. We need better solidarity in the first place and consistently throughout next time, or else this could happen again. And I do believe had that been different, we could have seen a resolution to this case sooner. So let me ask these gentlemen if they're going to let me in, and if they won't, I'm happy to. Sorry, guys. I don't think I'm going to get in. Do they know if it started? Does anybody know if it's actually started? No. There was two others on the agenda. Yeah, so I was on the family list today. I couldn't come out at 4 a.m. again. I couldn't do it. I'm still recovering. I worked like a 20-hour day on Monday.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
And about 8 hours of that was in the cold.
It was so cold on Monday, wasn't it? It was freezing. At least it's not as bad as Monday.
I mean, I think I'm still in my core cold from Monday.
Yes, I know. Exactly. Oh my God.
I'm just going to ask them one more question. I'm wondering if it started. Who would know? Let's just check if anybody has access to the cloud video platform. It was supposed to start at
It's not. It has started ages ago. Do you know how long ago it was that it started, guys?
Yeah, probably. The only people that will go here, go there from here is
Did he get in? He was trying to get in.
Ci oglądam cały czas, ci oglądam.
I'm going to say more has
Would they dare kill long blue-eyed people? They're racist. They'll kill Arabs. Romantic men. So once they see it,
So there were so that's probably predictable. It's predictable to say.
Nothing is
over there.
You have the solidarity for Stella written. Why is that?
Solidarity
for Stella? Why is that?
Of course. He speaks for all decent humanity. Well, I'll add to that decent and enlightened humanity. It could be very decent and fall for the propaganda of the enemy, which is what, of course, the German people who were as decent as any other people, they fell for the propaganda of the Nazis. They mustn't fall for the propaganda of the British, who were behaving in many ways like that in the United States also. We honor the American people.
Do you consider Monday a victory?
Sorry?
Do you consider Monday a victory?
Monday? Well, what can I say? My first reaction that was wrong. People said maybe the judge as announcer decency would feel that it's wrong for a chance to get to that death sentence. Convicted 175 years that's why I thought it was. And later on I read a wonderful article in the Morning Star, whether you're a communist or not. You have to consider the validity of what's said by the she's writing an article. She says, no, not even, we want to be fair and say there's the possibility that Rachel had some concern about Julian not extradited because she was convicted. But it's not that. What she's concerned about, she's guided by the feeling that the United States will have this loophole in Britain too. Supposedly to benefit those other people who here would not be who would have some trouble in their lives and their career. Because what I found to say is all the people in Europe, those people and those people, in knowing the truth. Once they know the truth, then they will not condone aggression. I don't understand. So, it's guided by things that would be very embarrassing for the United States. Whatever our reasons are for saying you should not be extradited, you know, as I said initially, I thought maybe she had an ounce of humanity, he'll kill himself, you know, rather than was. Patrick Henry, the great American patriot, said, give me liberty, give me death. You know? So initially I thought that might be her reason, but no, she's not Patrick Henry. She is a person it's being embarrassing to the United States and Britain because they are condemned not only nationally, but many of us here. Do we represent most of the British population? Well, I'm not saying we would know that, but what we do know is I think we represent the majority of decent and enlightened people, because where people are ignorant, even though they're very decent, like the German people, or just as decent as anyone else, they followed Hitler because of the lies they were told. And now, of course, we've been in all these lies. Once we see through these lies and know that Assange's stories are truth, and the wonderful Chelsea Manning, have told us about the United States and British policies, war for oil in Iraq. They're not concerned about whether or not they liked what Saddam Hussein was doing, but what they wanted, of course, was their American interests, the American century. But the argument in this brilliant article is that really what they were concerned about is that we no longer live in a unipolar world, the American century. Well, that was said, of course, at the beginning of the century. No, now it is more and more a multipolar world we're living in. And yes, the United States is the most powerful country militarily and economically, but there are also other countries that are becoming quite powerful, and the special alliance that Britain felt was necessary with the United States and not being in the European Union. And of course, I have no regard for the European Union. But this is no longer the case economically, that Britain is not the only country that would be favored by the United States in trade and diplomatically. So it would be in the interest of Britain to also realize that she could get economic and diplomatic relations with other countries, because she's not the only country that would want to be favored by the United States. So,
Eric, can I ask you if Julian Assange was released on bail today, what you've been fighting so many years for a lot of different causes. Yeah. What's the next fight for you? What's the next fight?
The next?
If Julian walks free and
he should get bail, of course, you know. This is important. Now, the United States, as you know, want to appeal against the decision. If they do that, it would be embarrassing for Baritza. That's what I'm saying. What her motives are, it's whether or not it's humanitarian. It seems there's no evidence that it is humanity, but she must be very concerned about. Then they're contradicting her judgment, which was, as we saw Monday, that he should not be extradited. So can she afford that? You know, I don't think so. But anyway, if the United States does appeal, will she allow the appeal? Or I don't know if it's up to her to allow it or not to allow it. But certainly, individually, it'll be a blow to her. They would have been opposed to her decision. So I do think there's a great hope and great chance that the appeal not be allowed, whether it's by her or that the appeal be unsuccessful, and that Julian then, well, as we know, he was jailed in the first place because supposedly he jumped bail, you know, not to be sent back to Sweden. But anyway, the Swedes never actually reached the point where they were charging him with rape. There were prosecution were attempting to do this, but as you know, this didn't happen. So Julian went to the Ecuadorian Embassy, as we know, because he knew the British would be extraditing him to the United States, and that was reasonable. Well, that he was sentenced to jail, but when you're sentenced to jail for jumping bail, you get sometimes only 2 days in jail, but the British judges allowed the maximum, which was a whole year. So it was a whole year, you know, in jail in Belmarsh. Well, now that he's gone beyond this year, so now they have to release him. You know, there's no longer any grounds for keeping him there in jail. So
we look forward to it.
We say he has to be, you know, he's not going to be extradited. He's no longer to be held in jail for jumping bail. He's not going back to which he did, of course, as you know. He didn't want to. He respects British law, but he would also say, I don't want the British to send me to back to Sweden. And, you know, okay, the Swedes themselves have dropped this prosecution, you know. So I think, you know, this has to happen, that he must get bail. When once he gets bail, you know, then okay. You know, he's at least not in jail anymore. He should get treatment in the hospital. But to keep him, to deny him bail, means that if Rachel is saying she has some humanity, doesn't want him to be killed. No, it's not that. It's just that if he dies in the United States, 175 years in jail, nobody lives that long. Or if he dies in Britain in Belmarsh and staying there any further, and medical experts, I think about 60 of them in January of this past year, said he will not live long, he's not likely to live long in that British jail. So whether he dies because he's in the United States in jail, maximum security prison, or in Britain, maximum security prison to a Belmarsh, he's still killed. So Rachel can't have a clear conscience about this, and nobody can say that she's guided by humanity. Well, there's a lot more to say, and
that's great.
You know, well,
thank you so much.
Not great enough, but okay. We hope it's great enough.
I have so much to use there.
I think it's the voice of the people. Remember I said, voice of the people. It's very important too. People knew the truth. They would not have gone into Iraq to kill those people. And it's not just the Iraqis they would have killed, but of course the British soldiers, misled, fooled, went in there. This is the German people who followed Hitler and were killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the ordinary people who were fed lies that believed them. Thank you. Whom do you represent? Which is this?
Sorry?
Whom do you represent? Oh yeah, great, great. Yeah.
Nothing. We come down here for nothing.
He's had a good life. He said if not for all of this, I would take your life. I don't think it's issue. I would take all of it. And he said, I was racing. No problem.
I'm saying all this space in a gallery as well, because there is press and everyone is inside. Right now we are waiting if someone is a family member.
Right now no one else can come in. Thank you.
The public prosecutor will come and they will help. Right now you have to wait.
Please.
So
thank you.
Are you saying that there might be?
No. He's saying there won't be seats now until the verdict is in. No.
That's not what he said, is it? But that's not what he said.
We can wait?
No. You can't.
That's not what he said. Why are you trying? That's not what he said. He just said that should someone leave the court, you are interrupting, and she's to be communicating with the court, and you're actually.
We can wait to see if
He's told us. So that's a different answer. The guy with the black suit is not what she just said.
The guy with the black suit. You're in breach of the coronavirus legislation by standing here and being given a warning to leave.
You can wait. Sure. But this man from the court has just said.
He doesn't actually genuinely.
Right.
I think he's security. He's taken over from the guy in the black suit. He's gone somewhere else.
Right.
Waiting. This is where we've been. Stop harassing us. Stop harassing us.
No, I want to talk to you.
Stop harassing us.
Let's have a conversation.
This is our legal right. You
Let's
took
have a
an
chat here.
oath as a policeman. You took an oath as a policeman to protect the human rights of citizens, and you're trying to strip us of our human rights now. Stop harassing us.
Right.
I'm exercising my legal right
Your legal
to be
right.
here and observe a court hearing.
Good.
And the man has told
your
me
colleague was trying to
he's going to notify us
the court
that
and
there's
establishing
seats
whether or not
available.
there was space in the court. And your colleague,
Let me tell you something.
was trying to.
You missed it.
Your colleague was being very obstructive, and she was basically trying to get in the way of this lady communicating with the court and trying to establish.
She's communicated. She has communicated successfully. Right? And now they know exactly what's going on.
Two people from the court. The first person has specified that there would be space outside of the court for people to occupy.
Okay.
And to sit.
He said he's checking with the Supreme.
Let me tell you something. I'll be stood here. Sorry, let me tell you. I'll be stood here and stood there.
That guy with the black shirt, the reading and notes here.
Sorry, mate. Right, I've been stood here for over an hour. Right. What I know.
I've been stood here for more than an hour.
Let me just tell you.
I've been stood here since 8.
In the last 1 hour, what I know and what I understand is that there's no spaces inside.
He's going to come down now and then he'll tell you the situation.
That's right, so stop harassing us.
I think that's quite fair. Your colleague was definitely trying to be obstructive.
That's right. You have no business even inside the doors of a courtroom. That's sacred space. It's not police space. They have their own security there.
But they little.
Yes, you shouldn't be. You're interfering with justice. You have no place inside a courtroom. You already scared off at least 20 people by wrongly telling them they couldn't have access to the court when it's not true. It's a lie. I was standing here the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it up. I don't have any game.
The man in the suit and the black mask said, just wait over to the right.
But then he
not over to my right. Here he is. Hi.
Yes. Right. We've still got limited spaces. There's still no spaces available inside court or outside court at the moment. So at the moment, we're still not letting anyone in for the Assange case. It's that simple. Yeah?
So you cannot be here anymore. Nothing's going to be left. No chance of us getting in.
At this moment in time, not at the moment.
So what will change? Is there a possibility?
If people leave the building, then more people can go in.
So
but at this moment,
you won't.
Not right here. Once people start to leave, because it should be finishing within the next half an hour anyway, right? Once people start to leave, we will come let you know if we can bring more people in. We will shout out for anyone for the Assange case to come forward.
So we'll wait here to hear if you shout out.
Yeah, but you're going to have to move further back. Okay. Yeah?
You cannot be in this area. You
are. He just said he's going to shout out.
Yeah.
No shouting. In half an hour's time. No.
Stop obstructing justice.
Can they wait on the street?
Right.
Wait
on the street. I will come out to you guys. Anyone from the Assange case, I will come out. But this whole area here needs to remain clear. Okay, I will remember your face. Anyone that's here will need to move away. That's everyone needs to move away from here.
Thank you.
Please. Everybody.
Can we come over here?
Please lie down to the street, please. You're not social distancing, you're not wearing a mask. Please keep moving for me. Please move that way for me. Nope. Ma'am, please move that way for me. You're not social distancing, you're not wearing a mask, keep moving.
I don't need to wear a mask, I'm exempt.
Show me your pass, please.
I don't see why I should, but I will do. You asked me so nicely.
That's not official document.
It is.
Please keep moving to me. Please keep moving to me. I've asked you several times now, please keep moving to me, not here for any particular reason.
Please, man, stop shouting and step back.
Fucking serious.
question taken too.
To be polite, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a bit fed up with it.
We're trying to do our job.
What's happened now? Everyone's just moved in front of everyone that got here a little bit earlier.
Can't do nothing about it, so everyone's going to move.
Just stand in the refuge. Well, they sort of shoot.
You can't do that.
Big down.
Right.
Что там, закончилось?
Да нет, все так раз группировались, там все продолжается. Вот сотрудник суда и сказал, что здесь никого не было. Они всех прогнали и, соответственно, да.
Я был здесь в 9, уже толпа была. Вот так я встал, здесь в 9.
Хорошо оделся тепло.
Ну да, нет, ну просто я еще думаю, народу здесь не так много будет.
Sorry, of course. But it wouldn't be very soon, to be honest. Yeah, of course, no problem. The session is going. Still going.
Yeah, just to make sure
Сейчас твердеть.
отказался от Неспрессо, то я слышу, ты звонили, когда вы не хотите обратно подключиться, мы вам кинули какие-нибудь десанты.
Above the COVID.
Ты не включал, да, пока?
Даже если все закончится, пройдет длина времени.
Да. Так это было позавчера.
Поэтому ревизор
We're going to be like this. Basically, what I heard is going to be here, he's headed to
their territory, it's not their country even. Right, yeah. Maybe they're passing on information.
Да, улетел.
Улетел, да?
В воскресенье вроде он улетел, что ли.
Не, он в понедельник должен был лететь.
Воскресенье, 30. Суд за 4 уже?
Да, вот как раз он в понедельник должен был лететь.
I'll send it
Very smart person.
Is he staying there?
Yeah.
If he's oh, please, come on. Are you joking me?
Stop doing that.
Yeah, please. No.
We've got 3 families here.
We're staying here for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I'm going there.
We're not doing that. You stay over there.
They think they're smart.
I can do the same
Это какие-то передачи камера.
Сонька очень хорошая.
Я имею в виду, что не могут.
Ну, не, почему? Фильчиков снимает на такой же. На НТВ, который с русским.
Yeah, it needs to go down, but I have to ask everybody to go down.
Schools are.
Yeah, he's
Archie! Что, наш чувак курит, он не курит. Are you smoking?
After all this, you won't get bail.
Could be a status,
No, it's spotkanie takie co ja nie wiem. Won, nie, won on takiego.
To razie.
Nie, to nie razie.
True. Ja, ich did.
Где вы сходите с того, что не будет такого порядка, если вы
Да.
поэтому никто не будет никаким милым, даже не очень знает. Просит его домашний арест.
Под домашний арест, да?
Смотри, здесь будут где-то жесть. Вы меня не обращай внимания. Я Yeah. Trying to think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What stuff. Really nice video.
Yeah.
On the road.
Cool. I didn't realise it was yours.
Yeah. I do a lot. I mean, well, I think
You lot are a big part of it! Because coming down here today, I want you stand out here, I want you courageous as much as you do, but you lot are a fucking soap piece of God's straight! No, you stop swearing, please! No freedom of press in this country, and you all know it! You're all right in the and you know it! Look when you're in your home, and they'll scandal home!
Tick over them 10, 20 ways, you know what I There's a full range of marketing. With the experienced people who get you doing things. From the back, these are legs. Should have soft on the legs and stuff. What's the difference? But this is a 6-take and 4-take. Triple frame.
Free Julian Assange! 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 Go on,
as soon as you can.
Madam! You're doing a great job! Free Julian Assange! Proud of you! Free Julian Assange! 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 Assange! Free Julian 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 Assange! Assange!
Free Julian 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 Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
More have a right, Calvin, so I don't want you to get...
Free Julian Assange!
I haven't got much battery left on my
Oh, you're in there.
La idea es que necesitamos todas las cosas. Los primeros de declarar, lo que me interesa es explicarte primero. pesa más que lo grave es así, saliendo, empiezan a rodar y después nos movemos.
They'll have to crouch down.
One very warm left hand. Yeah. Very ski concept.
I don't, because they do. So what can I do? I'm not what they're coming to start.
With the cousin?
No, but they also listen to these got some of those sort of things.
No, I mean with family members? Did you work with family members? They prevented the family members to get in? I don't mean as in... I mean, his custody and stuff.
It's only a couple of months a year. Do you mind?
Probably from Britain, but it just changed my leg. It worked. Yeah, it's really hard. So I had to look at that. Remember in Iceland? Chileno. Chileno. Oh yeah. Take the lenses and stuff. Oh, there was that beach and it was like 50 miles per hour. One time we were I was on the back of the ski set, holding the camera, going down the hill, on the full bus, continuing down the hill, filming skier, in the snow, it's like minus 20 on it. And actually sort of really good, but the next day the phone up, I just don't know what's going on, the lenses are working. It's pretty weird, but it was. My intention.
Оставили в тюрьме?
Reports coming in that bail has been refused.
Уходим! Уходим! Я шучу. Да, Ули.
Twitter account Assange defense. Judge who keeps Assange in custody. Proceedings are now complete. We should expect a statement shortly from the family. The judge has said the conditions at Belmarsh bear no resemblance to those I find he will be put under in the United States. Reviews prosecution. Reviews prosecution argument for Snowden's asylum. Update COVID
And even that say they get treated too much.
Can't update, please, Vertex.
Someone saying, oh, come to join. He has no right. She's a freaking magistrate.
Yeah, for sure. 2 weeks. Otherwise, yeah, probably they could. No, I know. Yeah, there was an activist doing it.
Trying to make it a military state. And you know what will happen? The guns will come out. They'll start bringing the guns out next. But there'll be a retaliation.
They've been torturing him for 10 years. That's why they had
away from me.
Neil Smelter, the UN reporter on torture, said that he's been being tortured. So how can they not give him bail now? Is it human?
Don't be following me! He's laughing. What they're doing now is not very nice.
That's perfect.
Yes, yes, that's your mentality.
You hold them there, please.
Stop there, anyway. Thank you. I'm putting it Excuse me, get back. Back.
Space, please. Space, please. Could you move the people back on there? A bit further back, please. Just on the road.
I'm a journalist. I'm not in the way. I'm against the wall. Don't move back. Just keep moving back. We're getting this way, sir. Come on. Jesus, don't grab me. I'm a journalist.
Wait, being asked to move back.
I'm not causing instruction. I'm against the wall, aren't I?
Can you get out of the road, please?
Get out of the road.
Sorry. Further, please. Further.
Are you going to leave straight away? Where is your details? Are you back?
Are you press, mate? You got your card? Probably. No? Press ID.
Basically, all these people, stuff like that, needs to be plugged into the side of the road,
Look what's happening now, where are you now?
Thank you, Eileen, for the donation. Thank you very much.
You want to go? Will I? No, you go. You put your feet on.
I'm here.
Trying to deny people their human rights to go into court. Police are wrongly telling us that the gallery is closed. It's a total lie.
Start moving away.
Numbers may be reduced, but it's not closed. Because I'm waiting. He said he's going to call me when there's more
recording
space.
is not waiting, is it?
Sorry?
It doesn't look like you're recording.
I am recording.
It doesn't look like you're waiting.
I am. He told us we can't wait next to the door. Ask the man in the black suit. He said for me to
Okay,
wait
madam,
out here.
I've just checked for you. The public gallery is not open to the public, so you're directed to leave home.
I'll wait.
You can either give me your details. You can either. I'm telling you now.
He told me to wait out.
No, madam, listen to me.
Not a reliable source.
You can either go home now, or you will be fined or arrested. It's your choice. I'm directing you now to go home. I'm directing you
my
now.
right to go into the public
Yes,
gallery.
it's closed. The public gallery is closed. Excuse me. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not debating it with you, madam.
It's not a debate. You've got your
The gallery is closed.
It is not
I have just
closed.
checked. The public gallery is
I'll walk there and
closed.
check it with you.
No, madam.
I've offered to walk and check.
Madam, you're going to be arrested. If you do not leave now, you're going to be arrested.
You have to give me a warning and a fine.
I just warned you.
You can give me a
Are
fine.
you warning you?
I don't have to get a fine because I'm here exercising
Are you
my
going to give your
legal
details?
rights. Let me finish.
Okay, look, listen, you're under arrest for breach of public regulation.
You can give
you can't
me
say
the
no.
fine. You can't
No.
arrest me without giving me a choice.
You don't have to say anything, but I may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioning something which you later rely on in court. And if
I
you do so,
did
maybe
not
give them evidence.
refuse to give my details.
I've
They're
asked you-
arresting
I've
me to
asked you
shut
more than
me up.
once.
They're trying to stop me from exercising my human right to view the court. Look at this, handcuffs for coming here to sit in the gallery. They've lied to me and said the gallery is closed to the public today for Julian Assange's trial. It is not. I was told to wait on the sidewalk for access to the public gallery, and they've arrested me for waiting. It's been recorded by the media that I was told to wait on the sidewalk. These people are Nazis taking away our rights. The Nuremberg trial will come, and we'll all testify against them. This is crimes against humanity. The police take an oath to support and protect the human rights of citizens, and they are not. They're stripping me of my rights.
So you can't go through it.
Out the road, guys. Inside. Out the road. Out the road, mate.
Leave the road. You have to be on the pavement on the other side if you want to go further down.
I am a homeless person. I have no place to live in anywhere here. And Westminster is, they don't want to take care of me. That's it.
Sir, as of
Why?
explained,
With this, I haven't got the clue.
Sir,
You didn't give me the warning.
We did. We
No,
gave you the warning. It's
no,
all
no.
on camera,
You came
sir.
straight
Sir,
away
it's all on
to
camera.
take me. That's it. No, you didn't give me any warning.
We've asked you
at
for your
all.
ID. We've asked you for your name,
No,
date of
and I
birth,
said-
proof
and
of
I
address.
said
You've
I
given
was-
us none. All right.
If you want to go further, you need to cross over, please.
And they went out. That old
Eric, the option is you go and get coffee or you're going to get arrested, okay? And I'd rather you
Well,
go
I'm probably not going to be arrested, because if you try that, it won't be
So you got a press pass?
something you'll last very long. Anyway. You're going to free Assange, you can free me, but I'm no more important, no less important than anyone else here.
Just step back.
You need to get
We're
so
just
close.
We're just starting to leave.
Right?
We're just getting
You don't need to get so close.
Just take a step back.
Go away with it, please, get my friend, go away, get the coffee.
Right. Eric, you've left us no
Don't tell me
choice.
right.
We'll just escort him over there.
Come on, Eric.
Eric. Okay.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Eric, don't do this. Come on. Just walk over this way with us.
Look at yourselves.
Eric.
Look at yourselves.
Come on.
Right, Eric. I'll just arrest you, okay, because you said you were leaving the area.
Come over here and we'll go get coffee. Come on.
Just look at yourselves. Eric. Alright. This is shameful. The time is 11:43. You're under arrest for breach of code regulations.
Disgraceful. Come on, Eric.
Okay, necessity to prevent harm to the public. Protect our public health. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. If you don't mention when questioned, something is later on in court. Disgraceful.
Not seriously doing this, are you guys?
Move back, please, sir. Move back. Move back, please, sir. Move back.
He's 92 years old. He's 92. He's 92. You
Fascism. Let him go. Let him go. You are breaking the law.
He's gonna die. You're gonna kill him. 92 years old.
Move this out of the way. Move this out of the way.
He's 92 years old. No, he's been killed.
They're beating up a 92-year-old man.
Move out of the way now. Get back.
British police have come to. They are the oppressors of the old and the young alike. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
He's where are the human rights?
Let him go now. It doesn't take 18 police officers to arrest one 92-year-old man.
92-year-old man! I took my lord to war! Then in this country! Have some respect for your own history! Have respect for your own history! It's like the Jews to fight
Stop hurting him! Stop hurting him!
He's 92 years old. Where is the respect?
Let him go!
Officer, how does it feel to be arresting a 92-year-old man? How does it feel? How does this feel? He feels a human being.
What crime did
That's it.
What crime?
Do you want a van to come up and look at this? You can probably... I would say we can get our idea for
Shame on you!
Yeah, that's fine. No problem at all.
Shame on you!
Okay, guys, we start. They might come back a little bit, please. Yeah, move these people back.
We're going to pick you up in a minute.
Let's get inside and we'll go get you a coffee. Right?
Come on, Eric.
Don't know what the reason of the arrest. COVID legislation. It puts COVID legislation.
I hope you're proud of yourself. This is not the history of this country.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, man.
Where's your cross guard?
I've got no voice. Monday chatting to her.
Scenes here outside the Magistrates Court. That's a 2-year-old man to be arrested.
Have they taken her?
You think about those.
They've taken a 92-year-old man.
Yeah.
Just arrested him. It's a disgrace. Just because he's criticising. He's such a nice bloke as well. Disgrace.
Right, get you guys to the down with the Guys, please, can you go down, please? Hello. Make it straight. Sir! Sir!
Thanks very much. We're going to have two statements now, the first of which will be from Kristen Harvardson, the editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks, and then secondly from Stella Morris, Julian's partner.
It's obviously a great disappointment to get this decision now from Judge Richard not to release Julian Assange on bail. We think it's unjust and unfair and illogical as such. When you consider her ruling 2 days ago about Julian's health, which of course is caused in large part because he is being held in Belmarsh prison, to send him back there doesn't make any sense, any perspective. It's inhumane, it's illogical. This denial of bail will, in most likelihood, will be appealed to the High Court within hours or a few days, and we will expect this to be overturned. Frankly, as I say, it doesn't make any sense from any point of view. I want to draw your attention as well to the fact that the United States has already indicated that they are seeing a defeat in this pursuit, this unjust persecution. Let me draw your attention to a statement by the very man who signed the first indictment in the Eastern District of Virginia, a man who is about to leave office. He was appointed by Trump. He stated that he was totally unsure that the case against Julian Assange would be continued under the new administration. He said, well, we spent a lot of resources on that. Maybe the new administration incoming will simply decide to drop the case. That's an extraordinary statement. It's an indication that they are, in essence, accepting this has gone way too far. It's about time to let it go. So the fight will continue. The fight for Julian, we want him out. If the opposition will appeal, they will be met. We still want the President of the United States, both the one soon leaving office and the one coming in, to consider pardon. We want this to end, but we are confident that justice will prevail.
This is a huge disappointment. Julian should not be in Belmarsh prison in the first place. I urge the Department of Justice to drop the charges and the President of the United States.
I couldn't hear, so I wanted to get somewhere close.
Reuters without Borders condemns this decision taken today, which we view as unnecessarily cruel. This court cannot undo the past 10 years of hell that Julian Assange has had to endure, but they could have made it right going forward. We fully believe that Julian Assange was targeted for his contributions to journalism. The past 10 years, he has suffered only because of publishing information in the public interest. He shouldn't have to spend another moment unjustly deprived of his liberty. We reiterate our concerns about his mental health and his physical health the longer he has to stay in Belmarsh prison as well. If anything happens to him in the period of custody, it is a legal and moral responsibility of the UK government. We call again for his immediate release and for this case to be dropped. We call on the US government not to pursue the appeal. Enough is enough. It has been 10 years. Let this man go and leave him in peace.
There's only one decision! Julian Assange! There's only one decision! No Julian Assange! There's only one decision! Fail Julian Assange! There's only one decision! Fail Julian Assange! Give these people some room! Come on, people! Give the lady some room! Give the lady some room! And then war! Come on, lads, come on, be fair! Let them walk! Please, give them some space! Come on, please, please!
Alright.
Free Julian Assange! Getting in the camera.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! There's only one decision! Now Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
I barely got anything to do, mate. Huh?
Sorry? Oh, she left.
I ended up in the court in the first half. Oh, did you get to see him? Yeah, you know what it is.
First out of 8.
Yeah. It was good, I saw him.
Steady, yeah, steady, steady, mate.
Shall I go back?
Steady. Yes? Too shaky.
Shall I go back?
To the back end.
Alright guys, we're going to be ending the stream now. We're ending the stream now, but we'll be live again soon in about 15-20 minutes. So stick around for that. We'll be at Parliament Square. There's an anti-lockdown protest. So I'm going to be ending this stream and then starting another one shortly. So thanks everyone for joining today, and catch me in very shortly. Thank you very much. Bye bye.